Merhabalar. Bugün Sahibinden serisine devam ediyoruz. Başka bir tecrübe. Yaklaşık bir yıllık kullanım var bu araçta. 2023 model long range 7 koltuklu versiyonu bu araç. Sahibinin tecrübelerini beraber dinleyeceğiz. Yaşadığı sorunları anlatacak. Umarım beğenirsiniz. Videoyu beğenmeyi ve abone olmayı unutmayın. Teşekkür ediyorum. Bugün yanımızda Sahibinden serisinde devam edeceğimiz başka bir model ve sahibi var. Krishna bizimle birlikte. Bu videoda soracağımız sorular tamamen sahibinden tecrübesi. Yine model Y aracımız 2023 model. Sorular geliyor. So this one is 2023, right? And how many miles you have?
So I have around 9,000 miles. I drove, so I got this like end of January, so you can say around 6 months. Yeah.
The first question, what are the positive side of this car for you? Because I will ask about your Audi Q7 as well, but we will come to that point later on. So why did you buy this car? Why?
Sure, definitely good question.
Okay.
I have a currently Audi Q7 which I purchased 2019 November. So I always wanted to have a 7-seater large high horsepower car, so that's why I went for that. And then I had one Honda during pandemic. I sold it because it was giving a lot of trouble and no
Honda?
Honda Civic.
Really?
Yeah, and
okay.
we were not driving in 2020, so by September 2020 we sold it, and that Honda was around 15-year-old. I was the only original purchaser of that.
Okay.
So so the Audi was good enough, and then we learned about the RTO, which is return to office from Amazon, and then we have to quickly pivot to look for another car. And when I did some window shopping, I found that there is a lot of scarcity of electrical vehicles in the car. So for example, when I went to a Nissan in beginning of January, the salesman said, if you want a new car, you have to wait for 6 months.
Right.
And he was ready to offer one 2-year-old I think Nissan, I don't remember what was the model, but it was pretty, Nissan Leaf for $35,000.
Wow.
So he said you have to pay extra 5K premium. So I was not pretty like a Tesla fan until then, and then I thought, okay, I don't want to buy second used car, and also which doesn't have much power, and again it will have a maintenance cost and stuff like that. So I went to Tesla's site and happened to see that why don't I just lease the Tesla? So then my mind opened that why don't I just lease it and see whether that is good instead of paying $37,000 to a Nissan. Why don't I go for Tesla? And then I was planning to basically discussing the discussion with my wife, and suddenly the news came that Tesla has lowered its prices by around 15K. So this model was around 67, 68K. Reduced to 53. So that intrigued me. Okay, this is what I was looking for. And then with Tesla, there is no salesman, there is no bargaining. Fixed cost. You don't need to go somewhere, and you get a car at home. It used to get at home. Now we have to go and pick it up somewhere. So I quickly learned, I think this is the best opportunity. So I went and
did you have a test drive?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Before this is the first time I never even sat in Tesla.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So first driving experience was after you purchased. Okay.
Yes.
So positive side perspective, what you say?
Positive side. So as I was used to driving Audi, which is like a heavy car, and if you see where we live, if you see it's a pretty narrow road in Redmond, Bellevue, and in Sammamish. So that was a little big for me to handle. But as I'm used to this car, I don't think I can drive anything else within the city.
Within the city,
yeah, because Tesla has so much features which other car doesn't have. For example, you don't need a key. You don't need an ignition. You don't need to start. So as soon as you sit, you put a drive, it will move on. If you do reverse, it will go back. So you don't need to worry, even lock it up. If all the doors are properly closed, you just move away from the car and it locks itself. So,
but your Q7 has this feature as
no,
well.
You have to still hit it.
Okay.
Apart from that, it's pretty ease of use of it's a compact car, so it's perfectly made for the city. You can go a little bit distance here too, so I drove around 200 miles to Vancouver, and I found it pretty comfortable. Also, this is the latest car, so it has a 313 mile range. this is a dual
Long
motor.
range. Long range. Yes.
It is a dual motor, so it has more power
Right.
to sustain. If any of the motor fail, it can still go on the
I think
second motor.
long range is the best price and performance perspective.
Correct. From value perspective, this is the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it was your only car, will you still buy it? Because you have a gas car at home. This is
Yeah.
your second car. Will you still buy it as a primary car and this is the only option? What will you do?
I would still go with, and because there is a reason. So Tesla has a huge network, charging supercharger network.
Okay.
In the US,
Okay.
you go any 280-90 mile and you will have a supercharger.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's come to negative side of it. What is you don't like about this car?
Okay.
Or
yeah.
if there is any?
This car is so much driven by software.
Okay.
Any glitch in it,
Okay.
can be a very
So
heartbreaking.
we should make a small comment here. You are coming from software. You are working for
Yes.
Amazon. So
Correct. I'm working for Amazon, but no software is perfect.
yes.
And there are proven cases you might have seen if you go to YouTube and see how Tesla get into accident. It happened because of autopilot, definitely.
Uh-huh.
But see, autopilot is an optional feature you can buy, but the base is still the same software. If you stop somewhere, okay, and then you put a park, okay, and then you are like a road where you have to climb up,
Yep.
okay, and then you are in D. This car go a little bit R first, reverse first. So it's very like a
So it's like
it's a phobia for me. For that, what I need to do is I need to pause, okay? I need to pause and then again do D to go. So just imagine,
So you say the car is
it's going back on D.
wow.
It is backing
It
up.
doesn't hold the car
Yes.
constantly. Oh,
Yes.
that's
So that is especially when you have a little bit of hike. That scenario. And I told this to my friend, and it may be how I drive, but I have been driving 20 years, and so far I never got into the accident. So
Okay.
I have been driving now since 20
okay.
years.
This is something interesting. Okay, that's
Yeah.
okay. So is there anything else for negative or that?
Negative, I would say this is pretty delicate car. So compared to others, if you see the material and stuff like that, so that is little negative because if you see, there is a scratches here and there. So if you accidentally, hit some bump like curve or something, there is a chances that the damage of this car will be higher than the other car.
Right.
I would recommend you don't drive this with 80. You drive this with 60 miles.
Especially for chips and rocks
Yeah.
on the road.
Correct.
Oh, okay. But you didn't have any incident anyway, right?
I haven't,
It
yeah.
is just you don't have the confidence of, part quality.
Yes, because this car will shake if a huge truck goes from nearby. This car will shake because it doesn't have an engine, doesn't have IC engine. It's
But
just
it
a
is
battery.
heavy. It is a heavy car.
It's heavy still. It's not as balanced. The weight is as balanced as
Uh-huh.
usually the IC engine automobile car has.
Compared to your Q7, you have Audi Q7. What year is that?
2019.
First of all, performance-wise, is it performing better than this one?
So there is a difference. For example, when I drive in the city, right? So I wanna go to just like 3 miles. This is very easy to get out and go. That I feel now after driving this, that little heavy. You need to pay more attention, more focus when I'm driving it.
Uh-huh.
So that's the major difference I found. But if you make my Audi Q7 with the brain and the battery charging of Tesla, I will go with that. The only thing I'm not preferring to drive because it eats a lot of gas. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Consumption. Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't have a test drive for Q7 size electric car, right?
I didn't.
Okay. You should do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a very good experience with Audi.
Oh.
The car is still heavy compared to this one.
Yeah.
But how about the comfort? Is this car stiff for you? Especially the suspensions, because people have complained about suspension and ride quality. Do you feel that?
No, I didn't find that in that discomfort. The reason being this is 2023 model, so they have made some enhancement compared to 2022.
Okay.
So I didn't find any bumps or issue with the suspension.
Okay.
And if you see internals, I like this better than Audi or any other car because if you see this is a minimalistic approach.
Yes, nothing.
So that's the reason if you see there is not much mess.
Yeah.
If you see other car, there will be space here, things
Yes.
get down.
Yeah.
This is a minimalistic design they made,
Right.
and this is the best view you can have. This is also designed very neatly and thoughtfully because if you see you have a traffic thing here and you have a GPS base basically map here. You don't need to have an internet.
How much do you pay for your data package?
Zero.
Why?
I didn't take the satellite base. This is a satellite based GPS. I didn't take the data plan one.
Okay. So if you want to connect to internet, you need to connect your phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Not for the driving maps though. So I'm good with that.
Okay.
So one more thing about negative is Tesla doesn't have a dealership nearby where you live. What they have is a service center which will be like 1 or 2 in the cities, and for me it is in Seattle downtown around 35-40 miles. So anything goes wrong, any part goes wrong which is not easily available in the market, right? I have to drive to Tesla service center.
Okay.
So that's a negative.
No, it is not convenient.
It is not.
You wait and you don't know how long it will take.
Yeah.
For example, your tire is flat now, so how will they change it?
Correct.
Okay.
So, for instance, when my tire went flat, right, last
28
week.
now, right?
Yeah, last week. Then what I did is I chose to use my insurance to get the help, a towing help from one of their contractors who came within like 35-40 minutes and towed to one of the tire center within next 35-40 minutes. That was a convenience. I was not confident if I call Tesla how long it's gonna take. But they can come only if it's a warranty related issue of the tire. I think they might only ask me to call directly to the tire company. They were not in the stock, but they could get me next day. So that was good. That was good news. So the good thing is that it is not as expensive as Audi tire goes flat. So if an Audi tire goes flat, it is around $500-600 per tire. This tire was $282 each.
Okay.
So it is half of the price.
Umarım videoyu beğenmişsinizdir. Lastikteki sorun çözüldü. Arabanın lastiği değiştirdikten sonra çok basit bir çivi daha girmiş. Şans. Lastik değiştirme gayet standart. Yani Tesla'ya da yaptırmanıza gerek yok. Kendiniz de yaptırabilirsiniz. Bu videoyu umarım beğenmişsinizdir. Teşekkür ediyorum. İyi günler.